What's up guys, welcome back to FarmStrong. My name's Jack and thanks for joining me on the channel again. Start of another week, it's Monday. I know the last video finished off on a Saturday. We did have a busy Sunday yesterday, combining grass and doing some baling as well. So I've got some clips of that on the baler. I will chuck those in at some point this morning. We've still got plenty of hay to bale though. So yeah, we'll get a bit more involved in showing you about what's going on there, probably a bit later this week or so. But yeah, a few things to show you around the yard. I'm just walking into our big grain store now because we have finished drying the grass seed. So that's down at 12% moisture. So now that's dry, we'll move that out the big shed off the drying floor and just store that in a bunker. But I'm just jumping in the shed now. I'm gonna move the stirrer. So we've got the bit dusty, you can't see. The stirrer augers, I'm gonna bring them to the front of the heap so we can take them down so they're clear when we're moving it out. So gonna run the augers. We're gonna tell this to park left so that it stops when it's out the heap. We can turn the traverse off and we can press go. So hopefully they'll run and just park themselves up somewhere out the front here now. And I don't know if I've ever actually shown it, but that's the little drive wheel. It sits on a metal rail here that slowly turns to move the stirrer to the front of the shed. The combine is cleaned down, ready to go into another crop of grass. Today we're going to be storing that grass in the right hand side of the big store here. So just opened up the door ready for that. You can see all the dust on the floor. The grass seed with the stirrer in it and the fan blade kicks up a lot of dust and making footprints. That's why I hate dust, because it's everywhere. But yeah, combine ready to go, stripper header next to it here. We'll be using that in the grass today. I'm just going to point out, Dad's dragged the horse chooser around on the class, just around the headland of our field, around our buildings, just as a bit of a fire break. If any stubbles do go up with this hot, dry weather for whatever reason, now that we've got 250 or so straw bales in the shed and hay going in there too, we just thought it perhaps wise to have a little bit of a fire break around the buildings. We're actually having a few cooler mornings, which is nice. There's a bit of a breeze and it's just not crazy hot first thing, but temperatures again for the next week or so are looking like 28s, 29s, 30s. So yeah, still crazy territory really. There's a class with the horse cruiser on. So that's what Dad did, pulled around just to do that fire break around the buildings. But we've actually got the sludge spreaders in where some sludge is being spread after our barley. So probably later today, Dad will be dragging that around to mix that sludge into the ground. Here's the baler, Dad's baler train. So you've got the 828 with the front rake, conventional baler there, and a flat 8 sled. So he'll be dragging that around. We've got some more mowing to do before the baler will be back out again. And then the twins, 724 Fent twins, 724 and the 820, got bale clamps on that will cart in the stack. So I'm going to walk round to the hay shed now and we'll have a look at all the hay that got bought in yesterday. Here are the stacks we brought in from the field last night. Got some dropped off outside and some dropped in the shed. Dad's got a squeeze on the front of the fork truck. And we'll stack those. Stack those in the shed now, so we're starting this lean-to side. Most of it goes in with the truck, a little bit of hand stacking, where we've got to tie a few of the bales in to keep the stacks nice and straight and square. So the grab on the fork truck's just on a hydraulic squeeze, similar to what we have on the back of the tractors, but there's no centre spike. Requires careful handling. We already had a few stacks fall over this morning. Makes a lot of manual labour. So a few more stacks out in the field coming back this morning. A lot of the hay stacked now. It's just three small stacks to tuck back in from that field, and that will be that before we bale any more. I did load 640 bales just straight out the field this morning to one of our customers who comes and takes quite a bit off us, so fairly handy. Just getting it straight out the field means we didn't have to truck it back here with the tractor to then load it out the shed as well, so nice and easy that. So more mowing going on today. Bent 820 back on it. Tell by the mobile sort of have on the back of my head, it's a bit blustery, so audio will be rubbish. Probably do some voiceover. The Horse Cruiser is an ideal bit of kit for this job, really, primarily being a stubble cultivator. It's sort of working in the top 2-3 inches of the soil and doing a nice job of mixing in the sludge that's been spread across the top. It's got a few rows of spring tines, a row of discs, and a twin light packer wheel at the rear. Quick bit of onboard. Back to my day job now. Cloud of dust coming my way as well. It is a lovely Tuesday morning. Combine is just putting the header on. About to hit some oats in this field here. We've got another field on the main road and then probably some more oats tomorrow if all goes well. And unbelievably so, I am wearing a jacket at the moment. What's the world coming to? So the oats more than ready to go now. Probably could have done them a few days ago, but busy with the grass. Paul's just running up the combine, getting some dust out. Chopping the oat straw, as you can see. Does seem like it's leaving quite a bit of straw. Fair blanket sat on top of the stubble. So he's just made an adjustment on the chopper on the combine. We've adjusted the concave and basically pulled it out to create a lip on it to throw more material in the hope that it was going to chop this straw up better, and it has. It's made quite a big difference, so I'll just show you that. Hopefully you can pick up the difference on camera. So here we had the concave in its normal position and sort of leaving this blanket of straw, and then we drop the concave out, which creates a lip and throws more of the straw and the material back round the chopper again, and it's just done a totally different job. Just chop the straw up much finer and not leaving that huge blanket, which it's not ideal for trying to cultivate or plough in, whereas that is a much better look. The moisture meter is out. Going to test these oats. What are the guesses? .3, which is fine. We want them at 15. Probably expecting them to be a little bit drier actually off the combine, but I think we're 11 or so out in the field. But yeah, we'll roll with that. And just to mention, the oats are going to get put on a drying floor. We've got a stirrer here as well. By the looks of it, I'll check the next load as well, but if they're coming in over 15, we'll have a little bit of drying for them to do, which in this weather is probably not really ideal, but we made a start, so we'll probably carry on. Second load has just turned up. We're carting very close by to the farmyard here. We're literally next door, so we've just got one cart on the job at the moment, but we expect we'll need at least 2 or 3 when we're carting a bit further. Second test was 15.5, so yeah, not ideal. It would be nice if it was below 15, but I don't think we've got another crop we want to go into, so we may as well crack on, and it will just need a little bit of drying. We're blowing the grass seed the other side at the moment, so we won't want to blow the oats while we're drying the grass seed, but we can put some air through it once that grass seed is good. Just going to get it dozed up round the stirrers now. Got to be gentle. It is Wednesday afternoon. I am back tedding out hay on the 8-to-8. We've got 3 fields at home here that are all mown. We're tedding out, getting ready for baling. So working through all 3 of those today. The combine was back cutting oats this morning and is moving into the first bit of wheat this afternoon. But yeah, we've had a hectic finish to yesterday. So yeah, I wasn't on the phone filming anything too much. We actually had a tractor catch fire. So the Fendt 820 was on the grain cart and yeah, caught fire on the road. Luckily not in the field. The cause of the fire we think is just some sort of hay, dust, etc. So the 820 was mowing before it was on the cart. So some materials built up underneath the cab on the axle or around the axle has got hot and caught alight. So the tractor has managed to be saved. I'll drop in a picture of it now. If you had a look at it just from the outside, you wouldn't necessarily know it had a fire, but the fire was enough to burn out a lot of the electronics and the air lines, etc. So the tractor was dead in the water, and we were trying to sort of try and recover it last night. Managed to get the trailer off for it, get the tractor off the road, and it's gone on a low loader to the repairers now. But yeah, Owen, the chap who was driving it, who's our harvest help, did a fantastic job getting out the cab, getting some of the burning material out of the way and getting a fire extinguisher on the job. And then we had other people rushing there with fire extinguishers. I think we burnt through at least 3 or 4, getting the fire out in the end. So a bit of a close call. Definitely a word of warning to any farmers to be blowing tractors down just with these dry, hot conditions. It's a lesson learnt for us for sure. You know, blowing tractors down isn't something we regularly do, but it's definitely something we need to think more about. So yeah, bit of a close call, caused a lot of drama, but yeah, we're going to get a Fendt 724 on hire to replace it, and that should be turning up today at some point. Just to mention as well with the oats, they did start coming in drier, so we were getting them in the shed in about 15, but as the day went on they were coming into the shed more like 12%, so that was more ideal. Obviously the time we're cutting have an effect on the crop moisture. It'll be interesting to see the moisture levels of some of the wheat we start cutting. I know hearing lots of stories of, you know, people having to cut wheat in some really dry conditions. We're obviously just starting the wheat today. And I know there are probably some people that are finishing up their harvests already or very shortly or perhaps by the end of this week or next week. So forecast is looking very dry. Hopefully it stays that way, and we'll rip through the wheat now, give the combine some proper exercise, pushing on in some wheat. Something to be happy about on the farm is our flower margin. Another good year for them. Notice them around the farm. This one's particularly good. Can't tell you what's in it, but yeah, definitely looking nice. Shame our crops don't look so nice. The last green thing on the farm, a few spring beans, but as you can see, just starting to go in the headland here, and a few starting to go out in the field as well. It is a lovely Thursday morning. I just did a clip saying it is a lovely Wednesday morning. Losing track of the days in harvest, but yeah, busy moving grass seed this morning. That's the heap of grass seed that we've got in the bunker there that was moved yesterday, and Dad bringing the other crop that's now dried into this side on top of the floor there. I've just come in the shed armed with crop temp sensors. So we'll put these in the heaps and then we can monitor the crop temps remotely on the computer or on the phone and take any action accordingly if we need to blow any cool air through the seed at night. Just using the kramer to bucket it round. So I'm going to jump in this heap now and put a couple of sensors in. If you're interested, the system we use is called Barn Owl Wireless and it's by Martin Lishman. So you can see I've put the long probe in the heat now and that's picking up a temperature. And yeah, it will send that temperature to our computer screen or our phone and we can keep an eye on it. Had a little delivery sneak through unnoticed by me a couple of weeks ago or so. If you've watched some of the previous video, you'll remember we put a guttler press on the back of our Triton drill. And we were keen to go further with it. So these are the two extra sort of wing mounts that we need to make the full length up of the drill. So we bought the centre 3 metre section second hand, but we've had Wax Agri Services who make these guttler presses make 2 new pieces brand new, so the 1.5 metre left end section and right end section. So a little project after harvest to get those on the Triton drill. Dad's off baling again, so just come down the field, help get the sled down. A lot more hay in this field to bale than we had in our previous two. This is the 2nd year crop, whereas the others are the 1st year. So we'll see how Dad gets on. Just pulling off now. So other than a few odd jobs, helping Dad with the baler, moving the combine and a few other bits and bobs around the yard this morning, spending most of the day pushing up with the kramer in our grain store. Combine's cracking on in some wheat at our contract farm. We've got 3 trailers running it back. It's probably a 5 to 10 minute trip in the trailers one way. So with 3 trailers going and me pushing up, we are just about keeping up. Yellow trailers we have are 14 tonne, the blue one's a 12 tonner. We're about getting towards half filled the shed now, or not the shed, half filled this side. We fit 900 tonne of wheat fairly comfortably in the side of one of these sheds. So you're probably looking at about 450 tonne or so of wheat there at the moment. Just moved the combine again into into another big field of wheat. I think we're just about averaging 8 tonne a hectare. That's not having added up the weight, so that's just looking on the telemetry on the combine. And just picking up the combine, well, I'm picking up the header trolley. Finished the wheat at our contract farm. Got through that in 2-3 days. And moving back to the home farms now. So a little trip down the road. Into the middle of the afternoon now. Been a bit here, there and everywhere this morning. A few different jobs. We've been stacking bales in the shed. Helped move the combine and ferrying around a few bits and places. Also got our red Bowser that's full of water up to the other farm. So that's there in case of a fire. Heard from a farming friend that they've just had a field fire today. So the risk of that is very real. So hopefully if we do have the eventuality of it, we can cope as best as possible. But Dad's busy baling. He's about to drive past behind me now. So I'm in the field stacking up the 8s. I've not really fully explained how we do it, but obviously the baler makes the bales, got a sled that puts them into flat 8s, and then we stack those flat 8s 6 high. So 48 bales in a stack if you're good at maths. And then we're carting the stacks like this with the tractor and a squeeze on the back, bale squeeze or grab or whatever you want to call it, back to the farmyard to then go and stack them in the shed. So yeah, me and Dad will be busy in the field. We'll get some stacks made and probably then once I've caught Dad up, I'll jump in a tractor and cart some back to the yard. But I'll try and grab a few videos of what I'm doing. I'm stacking up the hill currently. Not that I'm too much of a slope, but we've got a bit of a slope in this field. And we always stack the bales from the same side. And you may notice in the stack, the 4th one we cross, which helps keep the stack stable. In the field and when we're picking it up and moving it around. I'd love to know if there's anyone else, any other farmers watching that move their hay in the same way. I expect to see lots of people obviously stacking trailers straight in the field. But it'd be cool to know if anyone else does their conventional bales like this. I'm heading back to the yard now, swap the fork truck with the tractor. In terms of combine, where that's at, we're our 3rd day into the week now. So we've probably got 2 days combining wheat at the other farm and then a couple of days back here at home. To finish off the wheat harvest. So today, Friday, we're probably going to finish up, if all goes to plan, wheat harvest early next week. I will hopefully get to jump on the combine and have a go on the new one myself at some point. So I will get more footage of the combine in wheat at some point, but I haven't had a lot to do with it this year in the field. Our harvest help have been on the grain carts only really been doing a bit of pushing up in the shed, as you know, so hopefully I'll get out in the field. But this wheat is rapidly being cut. I know farms around us are starting to finish up or aren't far off finishing. Driving around, a lot of wheat has been cut now. And it's mad to think we're really nearly finished up with the wheat harvest. It's 17th of July today. So yeah, to still be baling and being close to finishing up the wheat harvest feels very strange. Just a really funny year, as we all know. It's close to 9 o'clock. Just finishing up in the field now. Dad's baled 2,000 bales. So we're going to have a look what it looks like in the yard. So I've got a fair few stacked up on our concrete padder out the front of the shed and a few more around by the hay shed. So I'll jump in the voucher and clear the lot up, and that'll be home time. Guys, it is about 7 o'clock Saturday evening. Dad's been baling hay most of the day. I've been stacking up, and I'm just about to spend the last 2-3 hours of my day doing this. Really hope you've enjoyed this week's video again. Sorry if it feels like I've been jumping around between different jobs, but it's been a bit like that this week with haymaking going on, combine going, and all the other things in between. But as always, thanks for watching, take it easy, and I'll see you on the next one.